The Manhattan-Ogden School Board approved its budget last night for 2026, which includes a 5% property tax increase. The measure passed on a 6-1 vote. Board member Christine Wexelman opposed.
Because it's such a big expense, administrative costs, and because this particular budget is mainly because of those expenses, when you really dig into it, I think it is fair to question that and to ask that. And I don't think it means that we're saying somebody's not doing their job or they don't deserve to be paid. I think it's just taxpayer money. We have an obligation to look at that.
Board member Carla Hagemeister, however, defended the board's action supporting the administration.
If you look at just the number of entities that we are responsible for reporting to and adhering by, I would hate to try to do that with a less equipped team than what we have here.
The mill levy was set at just over 59 mills, slightly lower than last year, though higher valuations will still result in higher tax bills. Riley County Police Department Director Brian Peet hosted a town hall Wednesday night to discuss how RCPD addresses targeted violence. Peet explains that such violence is premeditated and directed at a specific person, group, or location and can involve guns, active shooters, or even vehicles used as weapons. He says there's no simple profile for offenders.
Majority of the times, these things don't just simply occur. Contrary to popular belief, there are ways to see this as it's coming, and everybody holds a small piece to the puzzle to this.
Indicators can include threats, grievances, domestic violence, and abnormal stressors. Peet says many cases have ties to domestic violence, but emphasized it's not always partner-to-partner abuse. He also says RCPD relies on technology, interagency partnerships, and especially community reporting.
Don't run away from domestic violence. A lot of times, a lot of people will say, that's not my problem, I'm not comfortable getting involved in that.
RCPD also takes in tips from the public, maintains community notification systems, and works closely with schools on security measures. City officials are moving forward with plans to acquire final easements for the Fort Riley Boulevard Sidewalk Gap project. The City Commission Tuesday night unanimously approved an ordinance that allows the city to continue negotiations with the 2 remaining property owners and, if necessary, proceed with condemnation to secure the land. Public Works Director Brian Johnson.
We do have monetary verbal agreements on those 2 easements with exact details yet to be completed. So we do have some verbal okays from those 2 property owners.
The project includes a new sidewalk along Fort Riley Boulevard to connect existing sidewalk west of Valley Drive to the intersection of Fort Riley Boulevard and MLK Junior Drive. Improvements on the latter are planned through a temporary 5-foot wide easement with an upgraded traffic signal, new ADA-compliant ramps, and crossings.
This was the number 1 rated needed sidewalk gap in the city by our bike pedestrian committee friends. KDOT awarded the city a $1.25 million grant in 2022. We have been negotiating for about 7 easements total since March and April.
Johnson says the project is scheduled to bid in January. And Riley County Police have arrested a Manhattan man in connection with a robbery and battery case first reported earlier this summer. Officers took 29-year-old Andre Chisholm into custody Tuesday evening in the 1300 block of Flint Hills Place. Police say the arrest stems from a July report of aggravated robbery and aggravated battery. He remains jailed on a $100,000 bond.
This is Joe Budden. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. So I'm here to make sure you don't miss any of the action this football season with PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. With millions of members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Plus, the app is really simple to use and available in 40-plus states, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Just pick 2 or more players across any sport. Pick more or less on their projections, and if you're right, you could cash in. With simple stats and fan-friendly policies, PrizePicks is the best place to make your picks. Most importantly, they don't play about your paper. All transactions on the app are fast, safe, and secure.
Download the PrizePicks app today and use code SPOTIFY to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code SPOTIFY to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Good morning, I'm Troy Coverdale with your sports headlines. The challenge for K-State's football team on Saturday is one that goes back to a key coaching point for the team. Don't be distracted by the ways a play can be dressed up. Coach Chris Kleiman was frustrated with his team's inability to do that against North Dakota last week.
And that eye candy's coming for a reason to pull your eyes, and it worked, and it pulled our eyes. It's something that Joe and I know. Joe and I talk about it ad nauseum. We have to get it cleaned up. Some of them are new players. Some of them are new guys that, for whatever reason, haven't figured it out. And it's frustrating because we're going to get them to figure it out. Kleinman and I are going to fix it.
Army brings in a triple option attack that put up 24 points in regulation before a missed field goal in the second overtime against Tarleton State last Friday night. The Cats and Knights kick off with Power Cat Game Day beginning at 2 Saturday afternoon on News Radio KMAN and 101.5 K-Rock. K-State volleyball improved to 3-0 to begin the season, matching an all-time best start by shutting out NC State last night at Morgan Family Arena in the opening match of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas Classic. The Wildcats, with the sweep, have not allowed an opponent to win a set yet this year. They finished off the final stretch with a 3-0 swing that stymied NC State's attempt to rally. The Cats are off today. They'll play Nevada tomorrow at midday. NC State and Nevada play at noon today at Morgan Family Arena in a battle of the Wolfpacks. Joe Adell homered and drove in every run for the Angels in a 4-3 win over the Royals last night. That leaves Kansas City still 2.5 out of the final American League wildcard spot, as the Mariners also suffered a decision. The Angels right-hander Kyle Hendricks will pitch tonight in the finale of the series between the two. Royals will send to the mound left-hander Noah Cameron. Have a great day. I'm Troy Coverdale.